Hello,
Hey.
everyone. We are back. I am tired right now, but don't take this lack of energy as lack of love for the season because, oh my God, you're all looking at the screen right now. Simona is out of the house. Wild turn of events. I'm not happy. It sucks to see Simona go because I mean, Simona always has a lot to give, but like, this just broke open the season. Literally all, what, 15 players left? All 15 players left, except for one, are like giving everything.
And
And it's
she's trying her best,
and the other one is trying her best. And we'll get to that one. And we
which is
love,
probably her everything, to be
which is
fair.
probably for everything. Um,
No need to single anyone out or be rude.
no, I'll do it. I will do it. No, everyone's giving it their all, and it's in a so
Some
far
all is just more.
fun, non-toxic way. I mean, tensions are definitely high in terms of who's talking with who, but this game is stressful. But like so far, it is giving very much fun. Everyone's being a good sport. Like the season's just fun. I think we're in. Like I hope it continues down this path because it's a lot of fun to be had this season. This season is seasoning. I'm not displeased. It's been a crazy week. Things completely turned upside down. Everyone celebrate. The draft chat is dead. The draft
Oh, you
chat
mean like
is
what I said?
dead. Is that what you said?
Yeah, and you were like, "This sucks. It's Reliance." Oh, Sean.
Oh, Sean's back. Sean's fun. So fun fact about the rankings. So Sean, this is Sean's Zoom room because we don't have. This is so funny.
Oh, is this like you can always cut this out though?
I mean, we're probably not
Well,
going to. But Sean, welcome to the rankings.
Oh, I can leave. Sorry.
No, 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 no. You don't have to leave. I
you
mean,
can
like
stay. We
eventually you
really
should
don't
probably leave,
care.
but like say hi.
Hey. Oh
This
my
is
God.
Sean's Zoom room. Rankings this season are sponsored by Sean because Scott and Steven do not have unlimited Zoom.
Period. Crazy stuff's going on.
Sean's also getting
Anyway,
all the
I was
updates.
saying that Scott was freaking out last week about this draft chat, and I was like, they're literally all targeting each other. Why are you freaking out? And then look what happened.
No, I wasn't freaking out about them not talking to each other. I was annoyed that some people in the chat, Matt, Sean, Brett, Morgan, low key, but not all Morgan, but a little Morgan, were just like coasting off of having this block of seven.
But how can you coast off of an alliance that
Bye,
is
Sean.
no? How can you coast off an alliance that isn't structured?
Well, they didn't know it wasn't structured and they weren't reaching out or making inroads with anyone else besides their people. But now they certainly are. So like now that they've realized it's not a thing, it's great. So yeah.
All right, let's get started. I'm tired.
Um yeah, wow. So much has happened this week. But let's just dive right in. Um
A lot of red scores last week. Uh,
yeah,
Amanda.
Amanda. Okay, Amanda. Last week she was on the block as the main target. She won the veto and saved herself, which was great for her. I think that she is someone that has extremely benefited from this chat blow up, from this Nepo Babies explosion. Um, she's honestly taken an interesting approach to how she's playing the game right now, where and at first I thought it was an approach, and now I think it's just like the truth, where she's going around to people and being like, no one's talking to me. Like, what's going on? And I think it's funny because I think Amanda's um like judgment on what people talking to her means is different than others because people are certainly talking to Amanda. I just think Amanda expects to be talking like a lot constantly is kind of the vibe that I get. And not everyone is gaming with her 100% because she did lose, I think, a lot of trust with people when the cross house chat was the one to get blown up. But now it's the Nepo babies that's been blown up. And I think she's starting to get more into the circle of things. I'm obsessed. Oh, I did not update the names. That's so funny.
Oh, here I can do that while you talk.
Um,
Let me just do it.
Okay.
You talk.
I saw Vic's name labeled as Sean, and I was like, that's not correct. Um, so,
Oh, Lois.
but yes, now that um, it's this other chat that's being blown up, I think she's starting to get more inroads with people. She's got now that Simona's gone, I think Matt's gonna be going to Amanda more. I think Sean's gonna be going to Amanda more. Um, Ryan is really clicked with Amanda. I love this little trio between Vic, Faven, and Amanda that's formed. She's getting some allies back, and she's also, I think, clocking that some people that she was rocking with are now not rocking with her, specifically like Peyton. So I don't know. I think she's a good read on things, and she's not overdoing it anymore like she was at first. So honestly, I'm like, oh, we're so back. I think Amanda could be making it to the jury and have a shot here. So I'm excited. It's still a little precarious. Nothing's locked down yet. Her name is still floating out there as someone who could be a target or something. However, not the worst. I was at a 4 last week. You were at a 3. I will be raising my score up to a 5, and we're going to see where we go from here. But I'm not mad at all with what Amanda's been doing this week.
Yeah, I think Amanda's really moved herself back under the shadows a little bit. Um, and by that I mean I don't think anybody is there. I don't think there are many people who are like Amanda needs to go. Like Amanda's out. But there are people who are still like I don't really like Amanda. Like she's kind of talking a lot. She's being kind of chaos. Um, so I'm gonna move up as well. I'm gonna go up to a 5 as well. I do agree. I think um, Amanda's likely to see the jury, especially because there's only 2 more evictions until the jury. So that's exciting. But um, I really like Amanda. Amanda's starting to make inroads with more people. 5 for me.
I love it. I love it. Um, Moving on. Oh yeah, wait, let's look at this graph. Oh, I'm very curious about the graph, actually. Um, I suppose I should look at the graph just on my screen. There we go. Oh, lovely graph. How exciting. Amanda back on the rise. Happy for her. Okay. Moving on to Brandon Prince. He I think was unintentionally the spark plug of this whole downfall of the Nepo babies, and I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Um, I mean, as seen in the episodes, what I think happened was Faven told the beef group, I forget what the name is, but the beef four, that the options for Renom were Sean, Matt, Simona. Liz took that info and gave it to Matt because Matt was asking. And then when Liz gave it to Matt, Matt gave it to Sean. And then Sean talked to Brandon because Sean's game right now is kind of just like, I'm gonna just say everything, and that's gonna be great. No, it's not King, but we'll get to you later. Um, and Brandon, hearing that like Liz was exposing things, which I low-key kind of love that he did this, just went back to the beef four. That's what I'm gonna call them, the beef four, and was like, so Liz, just kind of heard that like you told everyone what the replacement non-plan was. What's up with that? And Liz was like, oh, so that's getting around. So here's the thing. I don't trust them at all. Here's the Nepo Babies Alliance. I'm ready to blow this shit up. And I don't think it would have happened in the way that it did had Brandon not just like approached it. So with that being said, the world is exploding around Brandon.
Mhm.
He's constantly, for now 3 weeks in a row, or I guess 2 weeks in a row, because the Brandon vote was pretty cut and dry. But 2 weeks in a row now, when people are talking about the vote, he's one of the 3 swing people that people talk about needing. Yet I feel like he's more like locked down with his people, and people just don't have a gauge on it. So I think like I'm continuing to be impressed. I was at a 7 last week. You were at a 6. It might feel a little high, but I'm just gonna stay at my 7. I'm gonna stay at my
Oh,
7.
I'm actually gonna go up to the 7.
Yeah, like I mean, I'm definitely not raising my score because I don't think he's in like we're definitely not in 8 territory for Brandon yet. I think he's got to be controlling a little more in order to be in 8
Hmm.
territory. But
I think Brandon is looking great. I
he's in a great spot and he's playing very well.
Yes, very smart, very calculated, I think, and social, which is great. Um, I don't think anybody's like looking to throw him up on the block anytime soon. Um, I think Brandon's doing great. I think I thought a 6 for the or a 7 for the first week of good gameplay was kind of a little high for me at least. But I think continuously as this goes on, Brandon's continuing to kind of make his social web, which is pretty cool. Um, so I'm gonna go up to a 7.
Yeah, fantastic. Alrighty, that moves Brandon up to a 7. Looks at graph, updates graph. Oh, look at that.
Ooh. Okay, Brett.
Um, oof, yeah. This one wasn't good. Um, I can't say I'm not a little pleased because I have made it very clear that I am not a fan of the draft chat. No way, no way, no way. And Brett, I think, was one of the people that was more on the side of like, well, we have the draft chat, so we'll just be safe
I
with
don't
the
think
draft
that's
chat.
necessarily true. I think it's true for Sean and Matt. I wouldn't tie Brett into that.
I would. I wouldn't classify Chloe Farmer as like looping her in as an ally of like going against the draft chat. Like he was rocking with the draft chat and wasn't telling anyone about the draft chat.
I mean, he's
And
got Paige, he's got
those two.
Ama- Amanda he's been talking to. I'm just saying, like it's more than what Matt and Sean have been doing.
Sure. That doesn't mean that he's still not doing it though. So, which is more so my point. But um and it kind of went kaboom in his face. He got his relationship to Morgan is now like public knowledge in the house. Everyone's talking about it. Faven ate with her nomination speech. Go Eagles. Hysterical. I love it.
Go BC.
And he just kind of got clocked and like he didn't like react well. And he was like reacting in like a camp way. He wasn't like actually like spinning out of control like we've seen some people spin out of control. But I think a lot of people were turned off to the idea of working with him after that. Um, we're seeing it really wasn't an issue of Brett staying this week. It was pretty much he was always going to stay. But there were conversations around of like, we have to keep Brett. Like the only reason he stayed was because Simona was the person next to him. And I think he just was actively hurting his chances with how he was campaigning. Um, I don't think this week was good at all. Simona leaving was a really, really bad for him, like a major setback. This chat being blown up was really, really bad for him, major setback. And I don't know who his new allies are going to be. He's got Morgan still. He's got Paige still. He's got Chloe still.
And Peyton.
Pa-
Wait,
Excuse me?
wait, hold on. I think I keep mixing up Paige and Peyton in my messages.
Yeah, you got to be because they are most certainly not on the same side of the house. He's got those three, and really that's it. And he lost Simona, and now the draft chat is gone. And I just think he's on the bottom. This was not a good week for Brett. I was at a 5 last week, and I will be moving down to a 3 because I think he's going to be moving as well. But love Brett because Brett's really funny and fun, and I love having Brett on the season. Again, all of these people are our friends. I can't emphasize enough. This is not personal rankings, but I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed, Brett. Love you.
I'm also gonna be at a 3. Um, for the reason of like being on the block, losing face with reactions, even if it was like camp. I understand. And I enjoyed it. And I thought it was fun. But people were like, "Why am I gonna work with you if you're gonna be yelly?" And I'm like, "True." but also I love it. Um, I don't know. I'm like looking at all these one-on-ones that he has with a bunch of people. I don't know what you're talking about, to be honest. I mean, I'm seeing a good chat with Matt here. A good.
I won't deny the map one.
I'm just saying, like I think that the caliber of gameplay just as a whole is so high this season that I feel like the people who are doing less are still doing a lot. I would say.
He's still doing a lot, and like I'm not saying he's not doing a lot, but again, like you bring up Matt, that's someone that he just has been coasting with because of the draft chat. He didn't forge a relationship with Matt. Like, you know
But
what I
why
mean?
does that matter?
In terms of positioning in the game, it doesn't. I'm talking strictly in terms of how I feel about it. I'm like, do something, try for something.
No, I disagree with all that.
Um, like for like there was a conversation that Sean and Faven had over FaceTime, and Faven was like, it's so hard with these pre-existing game relationships, and not that there's a problem, but it just feels like some people walk in with like this huge advantage because they're just like they just know everyone. And like it's like hard to navigate around and like that like really sucks. Which is funny coming from Faven, because that's what happened at 14 and she was in the positive side of things. I digress. But then Sean this season is like literally said point
Oh,
blank.
we're not
Okay,
at Sean. We're not at Sean.
no, I know, but this is on that point. Is like, yeah, I hear that. I actually totally disagree. I think the pre-existing relationships are like totally fine and it's good and whatever. And I'm like no, like I don't know. I just wish people were a little more open to not just riding with that. And I don't think I think yeah, I don't know.
I
I
wouldn't.
think Brett
I
just
don't.
was.
I just wouldn't call Brett and Matt like a pre-existing relationship, personally. But I don't know. I think
I
Brett's.
fully would. But who's to say?
I mean, every season there are many, many people who know many, many other people. I don't. I think Brett is getting too much slack here. Brett, I am defending you. Um,
I'll support Brett more than I do Matt and Sean on this matter. Like I'm not denying
my
that.
three is for the fact that he was on the block and had a real possibility of going home. Had Simona not been up, had Morgan not been saved. That's where my three is.
And that's where my three is as well. But it's that fact is true because of the fact that his only allies are the people that he came in relying on that weren't actually working with him, and Paige and Chloe.
Well, we'll
What
see.
is Chloe doing? And Paige is actually a good ally. So like kudos there. But like that is my point. He's in this
Okay.
position because he has not done enough.
All right,
Because he's been
Diego.
coasting on that. So yeah.
Diego.
Okay. I feel like, and I feel like this because it's true. The last two rankings videos, I've been on the Diego hate train a little bit. I'll admit it. I'll admit when I was on a hate train. And I was on a Diego hate train because I didn't quite get why we were doing all that for Brandon. I mean, I get it. Let me rephrase. I get it. I got it. I understood it. But I didn't like, but like for why? But I got it. This week though, I think like Diego has fully realized he was like, I did my big one, taking out Brandon. That was for me. I want to sit in the back seat now. I want to sit in the back seat. I'm not pushing anything. I'm here to sit back and relax. And I think last week he was still feeling the direct effects of the huge mess that happened. And this week, now that's taken like one step back. And there were still a ton of people coming after him and thinking that he's the one that ratted out that chat. But I think now it's even moving forward going to be cooling even more. And I think so long as Diego can, and he knows that he has to do this and he's good at this, take a step back, not push as much, especially over text, that he's going to be okay. One thing about Diego that I've really noticed specifically this week that I think is he's so good at it, because he's literally convincing me on these calls, is when he gets on call with people, he has such an ability just to like, he's got like words of magic. It's crazy. Where like he'll sit on these calls and it seems like he's just being so straight up and honest with you and really considering what you're really having to say. And some of the times that is true. And I think he is really considering it. But at the same time, he's like playing his game. He's just really good at seeming like he's being really straight up with people. To the point where even I'm like, does he realize that he's not being straight up with some people? And he does, because then I'll go to his diary room and it'd be like, Simona's going home. And I'm like, oh, okay, he is playing them. So from a gameplay perspective, I'm actually rather impressed constantly by Diego, specifically on calls. With that being said, there are still a lot of people that I think that he is like the main leaker of chats. Truth be told, because he was for a while. And his name is definitely still out there as a target. But I honestly think the only person that is actively throwing it around is Peyton. And maybe Sean still at this point. Maybe Brett.
I think a lot of those people were pushing that today.
Yeah, and they were definitely pushing it today. So, what was who had what score last week?
Uh,
I'm checking now.
I had the 4, you had the 3.
Yes.
I can go first. I'm going to go up to a 5.
That's what I think I'm doing as well. I was considering between a 4 and a 5.
Um, I think this is bound to go up for Diego. I was reading a lot today, especially pre-veto meeting, and there was a lot of, oh my gosh, thank God Faven is going to put up Diego. We're going to take Diego out. Um, so can't go up too much, but I think he's starting to re-solidify himself a little bit.
No, yeah, he's definitely not in green score territory because his name is so out there. But honestly, it's like everyone's talking about how like big of a mess Diego is or whatever. However, if you ask people individually, I think everyone thinks like, but Diego is with me. So, and not everyone. Like Amanda's certainly a little sus still. Peyton is most definitely sus. Um, but Peyton doesn't show up to win HOH, so that's not really an issue for Diego. Yeah, 5 for Diego. I think it's a nice neutral spot. I hope to see him come back. I think if Diego came back from what happened earlier in the season, like, you better work. I'm excited for Diego.
Okay. Diego covers up Amanda's line. So fun.
Oh, huh.
Faven.
Faven. I
HOH
love Faven so much. I am such a Faven fan. Wait, why is my screen being weird? 2 seconds. There we go. I am such a Faven fan. Not that I mean, I remember so specifically saying in the draft, Faven's my number 14 pick. I think she's going to come in, be camp, and then maybe flame out. And while she is in here being camp, she's also here to play. And she's playing a game that she did not play on season 14. And not like, listen, Faven played well on season 14. That's why she's here for a second chance, obviously. But I feel like on 14, Faven in my mind was always the side ally to people like Jason or Joe or whoever it may be. It was just kind of being tossed around. And this time I feel like Faven is very much in a driver's seat, making good moves, making strong allies. I think she's doing very well. This move definitely exposed her a lot. And I think there definitely are some people out there that are like, still don't feel like they don't talk to Faven all that much. Like she's on the outside. However, I think taking Simona out for Faven was concretely the best thing that she could have done. I honestly think that this week went off without a hitch for Faven, minus maybe the fact that like she didn't need to put Morgan up on the block in theory. But honestly, this was such a fantastic week for her. I was at a 6 last week. I'm debating. I think her position wise after this week is low key probably still a 6. But because, in my opinion, she is such an awesome HOH, I am going to move her up to the 7.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same thing actually. Her HOH was really great for her, and taking out Simona, a huge threat in the game. She's gonna get major, major points for that. She kept a lot of people safe this week. Uh, I'm excited to see what Faven does. But 7 from me. 4, 5, 6, 7 for Faven.
Oh, come on, climbing. Come on, ladder.
All
I
right,
love it.
Chloe.
Our consistent queen. Listen, Chloe Farmer, I love you to death. I love you to death. 3.
Yeah, I have a 3 too.
It's unlike here's the thing. Chloe Farmer, again, I love you so dearly. You're so camp and I love it. And I love your contributions to the house chat when you have fun things to say. I love it. It's great. Um,
She's
until
playing like OG Big Brother.
until literally any ounce of game talk gets said in any chat anywhere. Like that is my baseline. Any chat anywhere having any game talk from Chloe Farmer, I will be willing to raise my score. But until that happens, I simply cannot do that. 3,
Does her
3.
diary room count?
Sure, but we don't get it in there either. So
Yes, we do.
um it's a 3 from me. There's only so much rope that she's gonna have until
She said, I love my unbothered nation team and want to stay unbothered, so I need Brett to stay.
I'm
Honestly, I believe I'm in further than I
I'm
was last time, and I
bothered.
feel like I'm playing better compared to last time.
I disagree.
But she says, I know I def could improve, though. She knows there's room for
Good
improvement.
read.
I think she's playing better than last time.
In what world?
Well, she was just reliant on her pregame connection of Caroline last time, so it didn't count.
I would not say, I mean, obviously her and Caroline were together, but they were actively, like last time she was actively talking to people about the game. Like literally she just hasn't talked. And it's not that she's not talking. It's just that like people will be like, oh my gosh, I think Simona, like literally like reading the screen text. I think Simona like exposed the Nepo babies. You have to keep Simona for all of these reasons. No, you need Simona out for all of these reasons. Do you have any pets? What? No, like what? Or sorry, or like when we sent the like jumping into week 4, just a hair. We sent the UFO, and not that the UFO has to do with anything, but she was like, "Oh my gosh, I thought this was for Taylor Swift. I forgot there's." I'm like, "Girl, we don't need to say all the thoughts."
After
Right?
Morgan, after I asked her what her reaction to the last eviction was, Morgan is literally bestie. I couldn't have her leave. I didn't realize she won veto this week till right now when I stupidly asked who HOH was. Girl, that was 2 days ago. Come on, Chloe. Anyway, I'm so glad she's staying. Charles was meh. She's like okay.
I love that she
She's
is like
playing like
very
season
confident that she's
one,
trying.
which how can you blame her?
I'm happy that she's happy, and if she's happy, then I'm happy. But I'd be happier if she went home.
Okay, 3 for Chloe. Yikes. Okay, Liz.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do the thing. I'm gonna do the thing. I love Liz so much. I love Liz so much. I stand up and I clap. I stand up and I clap for Liz.
Oh, she's gonna use that as a soundbite.
She is. And you know what? And she can savor this moment forever because we all know me and Liz. We've got our little beef, whatever's going on. That's her problem, not mine. I'm a very caring person. But I she's killing it. I won't lie. I will say it because I said it on the draft video. I have to stand on my words. I did not think she had it in her. I didn't think she had it in her. I thought we were going to come into this season off of 15 being like, I'm the best, yada, yada, yada. And then like not actually like realize what it takes to try. But no, she's killing it. She's killing it. She's making a bunch of good allies. I think she's on the good side of nearly everyone in the house. She's great at talking to people. People are coming to her for the vote. She should not have been someone that like should have been like up in the air as like a swing vote for this eviction, yet she was in people's minds. In addition, she blew up the Nepo babies Do you know whose name has not come up at all about the idea of who did it? Her, Liz. She has gotten out of this completely free. It's really impressive. She's really invested in trying in this game, and it's really paying off. Simona going home for her, I think, was fantastic because now this draft chat is done. And she is now, again, I'm not saying that working with the people in the draft chat was bad for her, but like she realized, she's like, this chat is bad for me, so we're gonna blow it up. And now, I think correctly so, she's like, I'm going to scoop up the people and make them my specific allies and not just homogenous group ally. So I don't know. I am very impressed. Big fan of Liz. I want to give her the 8 so bad, but I don't think I can just
Then
yet.
do it.
No, I'm not. It's still a little early for an 8. No, is it though? Is it though? I don't know.
I'm going to give her a 7.
Okay, Steven's at a 7.
I'm really impressed with Liz. I mean, the exposing of the Nepo babies this week was a great move. And she got what she wanted. She got her way on Faven's HOH. So I'm very interested. I think Liz is in a great position, to be honest. I don't really think anyone's speaking about her.
You know what? I'm looking at this list of people. Yes, I am. I'm looking at the list. Well, yes, I am. This is because I'm kind and a very nice person that awards good gameplay, Liz. We're friends, okay? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna give her the 8. I'm gonna do it because she 8. Maybe it's a little high right now. Maybe it is. I'll admit it. However, kudos. If it comes down to a 7 next week, it's because the 8 was high this week and not because she got worse. So I'm prefacing that if I come down from the score. But I'm just, yeah, I'm very impressed. I'm very pleased.
Good
Well,
for
yeah.
Liz. Starting at a 3.5.
What
No,
a turnaround.
7.5.
Could have been the first boot of the season.
Yeah. All right, Luke, who's getting a 1 from me this week because he said he didn't like me last night, and he said he called me out for saying I didn't like him on season 14, which is not true. I literally recruited him to play season 14. So there's drama between Fluke and I.
Yeah. Well, Luke and I are besties. So he gets a 10 from me. So that averages out at a 5. That's not the color for the 1.
We haven't gotten to it yet.
Okay, change it back now. You're not actually giving him a 1. There you go. Luke is doing very well. And I'm very happy that Luke's doing very well because there it is back again. I'm really happy that Luke is doing very well. Luke is someone that I expected to do very well. And I don't know. I just I'm a big Luke fan. Big Luke fan. He's just like, I don't know. He's doing the same thing in 14. Or he's doing the same thing that he did in 14, where he just has a good read and is he's just really good at navigating everyone, I feel like. Last week, I was at the 6 for Luke. You were at the 7. And while I am very impressed, I think some people I'm gonna stay at my 6 for Luke. I think he's in a great spot. And he's continuing to play super, super well, and I think he's gonna be here for a while. I'll be interested to see what Simona leaving does for his game. Because I don't think it was great for him because I think Simona really trusted and wanted to work with Luke.
But he wanted her out.
I don't think he did. Per his last diary rooms, I don't think he did. I think he wasn't gonna push against it. And once everything got exploded, he was like, there is absolutely no point in me trying to actively fight to save her. Therefore, she's just got to go and we got to move
I
on.
mean, he said, I feel so bad for Simona because I know how much she wants to be here, but I don't trust her.
Yeah, after everything came out, I think he did want her out. But I don't know. Luke's whole thing has been like, and he did it on 14, granted, to failed success. But like keeping bigger threats around is his game and his strategy, and I think it does generally work for him.
I mean,
Um,
he said, I'm sick of Simona. She's going home. I will gladly campaign for her to leave, and she's outing me.
Hysterical. Alrighty, well then,
Sorry, not to clock you, but
no, you're right. But more so as to why I'm not going up, I think Simona is someone that actually had Luke's back, which is why I don't
he
think
didn't
this
realize
was,
it.
yeah, I don't think this was perfect for him. So, but all to say, still very much in the green zone, especially compared to the majority of the cast. Um, it's gonna be 6 from me.
Hmm. I think I'm going to go down to a 6. Not because he has done anything worse, but I feel
But
like,
because you hate him.
yeah, because honestly, because he pissed me off. That's why. Because I was deciding between a 6 and a 7, and you know what? He said something that made me mad, so I'm going with the lower one. No, because I, I don't know. I'm just not as strong on him as I am about some other people right now. And I think 7 was warranted for what he was doing last week in the vote, but now I think he's tempered back down a little bit. And I agree with the whole Simona thing. So, 6. Amazing. Matt.
Okay. Hello, Matt. Welcome to the game. So nice to have you here. He like Simona went on the block and he was like a sleeper agent that like turned on that like all of a sudden he was the most active player this week fighting to save her, which like work. Um,
But didn't succeed.
but didn't succeed. Um, but at least we were out there doing something. I like I don't know. He's I oh my God. I like Matt in terms of like the BBSS world, like Matt is one of the people that I like we're super close with Matt.
We preface this. Yeah, what are you going to say?
I don't understand why in his diary rooms he's like, I think I'm still in a great spot. King, you're not. You're not. You're not.
Because
Uh,
he's funny. And he knows that he's going to have a good laugh at it after the season.
I
What are you going
hope
to say?
so,
What's your
because Matt
score?
King, this ain't it.
What's your
Um,
score?
so here's the thing. Here's the thing. It's twofold, right? It's twofold because one, this draft, Simona went home.
I'm sorry. Diego texts. I can't say this all. I'm sorry. Amanda, I love you. You, the dog is so
The
funny.
dog is too much. I was talking. Sorry, quick pause on the rankings. I was talking with people earlier on FaceTime. I forget who it was. And in fact, it was definitely Diego. And he was like, I said some fucked up shit about that dog in my diary room. And I was like, I think everyone said in a diary room about the dog.
Because I understand, like, dogs now are like children, like new member of the family, like big deal, is a lot of work, especially a puppy. So it's like on your mind all the time. And I don't think like when you like realize how much you talk about it to like an isolated group of people about it. It's like when you show like people at work pictures of your baby. Like I love it though. I think it's hilarious.
When she got on
Yeah, on the
the
Zoom
next day,
today.
Wage comment, it was like, by the way, my dog might run across the keyboard and kick me off the Zoom. And I'm like, girl, just put the dog somewhere else. I'm like, why does this
Also,
dog need to be here?
also, why? How would the dog turn off your Zoom?
I'm like I don't like the dog is real smart. If he
But I love it. But everybody is said in a diagram.
I'm so
This
tired.
needs to be a segment. Like
I'm
this could be a
tired of
whole
the dog.
episode.
Oh my God. Okay.
Anyway, Matt.
So Matt. So Simona going home, not good for him. So like that's not good, right? Um, the draft chat though, I think it blowing up is great for him because he needs to get out there. He needs to meet new people. He needs to talk and just like get out there. And now as he was campaigning to do try and save Simona, and as it got revealed how exposed this draft chat got, he started talking to more people. He was on FaceTime with Ryan today, and they had a great conversation. He was on FaceTime with Luke, and like Luke was like, Matt, I'm gonna be so real with you. I've heard that like you don't like me, but your whole group chat just got exposed. So I'm trying to work with you when I come around. And now Matt is like, maybe I should work with Luke. And I'm like, genius idea, Matt. Um, he's like now talking more with Amanda, who we always thought he had, but now like he's talking more with her. I'm like, yes, this is what I want to see
What is
happening.
your Matt score?
So while I am more impressed with the activeness and the gameplay, losing Simona was just horrible for him. It's another 4 from me.
Yeah, I'm gonna say my 4, but I do
hope
think
it
it's gonna go
raises.
up.
Yes, I really hope it raises next week. And I think it can. But it's still a 4 for me for right now.
And that's valid. You know what? So 4 now. He's gonna be shocked by these rankings. Sorry, Matt. Sorry.
I love Matt so much.
Yeah, me too.
This is not it right now, King.
Okay. Morgan.
Speaking of not it right now. Ooh, girl. Okay. So Morgan was the initial target this week after almost going home last week. And moving forward, I think still is a huge target that people are not going to stop targeting until, again, more of her surrounding people go home. I think Simona going home for Morgan was good. However, I still think Morgan is going to have to lose someone like Brett or like Chloe that are her other perceived connections in order for her to get, like, I don't see what Morgan is doing to get back in. Granted, right now, I know she's on vacation. I don't fault her for this fact right now. And I'll honestly like deserve, like, please enjoy your vacation. I would hate more if she was like ruining her vacation by like constantly talking. But over these last 2 weeks, the game is definitely, as like the chat got blown up, and even as she was on the block last week, I feel like she's just lost touch with a lot of people. Not that she's inactive, because she's definitely not inactive, but like her threat level has continued to grow, but she hasn't forged any new connections to offset that. Whereas like with Diego, it's like, oh, everyone's talking about how big of a threat he is, but he's getting in with people, and enough people think that like, oh, but I'm good with Diego, that it's fine. I don't think enough people feel like, oh, I'm good with Morgan. And I still think that her name is very high up on the hit list. I mean, she was on the block this week and would have easily gone home had she stayed on the block. So there's only so much I can really give here. Unfortunately, the Unbothered Alliance might be rather bothered by all of the 3s that they're getting from me. But I think that I forget if I was at the 3 or the 4, but either way, I'm at a 3 this week. So it breaks my heart. I love
were
Morgan.
at the 3,
Okay, I'm at the 3 again then.
and I'm gonna move down to a 3.
Well, yes.
Which is so funny that I had her at a 4 last week and she almost went home. But I stand by it because self-love. Um, yeah, I mean, she was very close to going home. She was literally a veto competition away from going home. And we'll see what happens if she can kind of re-solidify herself or at least get into a better position with the events of the upcoming week. But we'll see. Morgan, I hope she sticks around for the jury at least. But we'll see.
I think it's possible, but I don't think it's impossible for her to be one of the next 2 boots either.
So true.
Well, yes.
Paige. You know we
I
can't
love
hear
Paige.
you when you do that, right?
Yes, I've heard this.
Okay.
Oh well. I big Paige fan. Big Paige fan. I want that on the record because Stephen tried to before this call be like, "You said last week you hate Paige."
I
Bitch,
mean,
no,
I'm not going
not.
to
I
go
gave
back
her
and watch the
6, and I said I
rankings.
loved Paige.
I'm not gonna go back and watch the rankings, but if someone else remembers or has a screen clip from last week, share it with us.
I swear I only gave support for Paige, as proven by my score, green. And you know what she's going to be getting from me again? Green scores. And it's just a matter of which green score do I give Paige. Um,
I,
Paige,
for one, am going up to a 7 on Paige.
it's
I I think Paige might be my favorite right now. That might be a hot take in this community with Scott, but I
why are we painting this narrative that I don't like Paige?
no, that was just a joke. Um, I just like she. I think you said it perfectly. Like when we were talking earlier, she's just so like locked in. Like she is so here. She predicted that this week's gonna be a double eviction. The twist is gonna end. Double eviction. Jury starts like all in one swoop. She's been like clearly looking at past seasons because she was like, I looked at seasons 2 and 5. That's when you had 20 people, and they both had 11-person juries. Um, I think she's gonna be here for the jury this season. I hope.
I hope as well. Um, yeah, I'm a big Paige fan. Um, I honestly think that her and Brandon Prince are playing very similar games and are in very
Mm.
similar spots, just with slightly different crews. Um, I am gonna stay at my six for Paige.
Are these the same color?
No, they are slightly different. I might offset the scale a bit to make the 8, 9, 10. As you get into the darker green, it
Mm. Yeah,
it
I can't really
gets
tell.
harder to tell. But I'll just say,
Are
I'm
all of
gonna say,
these three a different color?
yeah,
I can't even tell one bit.
crazy, right? Um, so yeah, I'm gonna be staying at my six for Page. Um, and it's because I think her and Brandon Prince are playing very similar games right now, which and it's great. But the reason I have Brandon at a 7 and I have Paige at a 6 is because they're playing very similar games. But right now, the people that Brandon Prince is more closely aligned with and I think has better protection from are people like Liz and Luke and Faven and Diego and etc. that all, if you look, have green scores. And I think Paige is more so locked in with Brett and Chloe and Morgan, and we see how their scores are. So while I do not think that them being in danger is any reflection of Paige being in danger, because no one is connecting Paige to them, which is fantastic for her, and she needs to keep it that way. Um, I just think that her position is slightly worse because I think the likelihood of Brett, Chloe, or Morgan going home, at least one of them going home before the jury is high, possibly two of them going home before the jury is high. Um, and she'll need to recalibrate just a little bit, but she has enough really good social connections to do so no problem, and a lot of people like her. So I'm at a 6 for Page. I have high hopes. She's doing great. Um, but that's where I'm at.
Cool. Peyton.
Peyton. Last week I was at a 4, you're at a 5. Um,
Bad
hmm,
week. And here's the thing. Like,
another L for the Peyton fan club.
I understand, like, he's busy. I mean, this is New Year's. Like, it's a big time, and he's visiting people and all that. But King, your actions have consequences. I mean, like, I gotta go lower this week. First of all, I will say, clocking the director's cut
Yes.
uh, twist that the person who is the director was the previously evicted person. Amazing, great. Very bad that you were given an advantage of both comps this week and like wasn't there for the first one. And I mean, the second one wasn't really an advantage actually. Kind of, it was more of just like a big target on your back in the competition. Um, but
I
uh,
think that's an advantage.
he was eliminated to even the playing field. So
That was bullshit. If he was eliminated because Morgan knew he was targeting her ass.
yeah, but I think that is still. I digress. Um, And losing Simona obviously bad. I'm going for a 3 for Peyton this week, which is upsetting.
Yeah, well, yeah. Um, yeah, I'm torn on where to go for Peyton. I was at a 4 last week. I'm gonna stay at my 4 again, I think. Um, However, if I'm comparing Peyton and Matt, I unfortunately see Matt's 4 being a 4 that's gonna go in an uphill trajectory. I see Peyton's 4 as something that is likely gonna go down. Peyton's got to lock back in, I think. And not that he hasn't been locked in, but like on the week that he was flipping votes to try and save Charles, I feel like he got in really good with people like Faven and Vic in that vote flip. And he should have people like Amanda still and all these things. But like even now, after all this like Simona business came out, there are way too many people feeling iffy about Peyton that shouldn't be feeling iffy about Peyton. And that is only a direct result of his own actions. Um, I don't mind that he's so out there campaigning for what he wants to have happen. On the whole, I think it's better to try and save the people that like you're working with than not try. That's always gonna get like you're not gonna win the game by just like sitting back and letting things happen, in my opinion. Um, so like kudos for that, which is honestly probably why I'm saying at my 4. He's like actively making the right decisions for his game. But I think the way in which he's going about it is confusing people, even the people that he's closest to, of like, well, like, are you really with me? Or like, I don't know. Um, I worry for him and I wish that I wasn't worrying for him because he's such a good time to have around. Um, Big Peyton fan, but I'm nervous for him moving
All right,
forward.
all right, but
Definitely on the
I'm time checking you here. Ooh. Ryan.
Ryan. Okay. I am going to be giving Ryan another 6 for this week. Um,
I am as well.
Awesome. Moving on to Sean. So Ryan he's someone that's consistently been doing well. He's just keeping up good conversations with people. I think enough people trust him. His name has not come up once as someone to even target. Um, he's just in good. I think what he needs, wink wink, is something maybe to come his way soon, wink wink, where it would be an opportunity to have some power, wink, that he can utilize to build himself a foundation to really launch himself into being in a great position. Wink. That's not a spoiler for things that might be happening next week. Because why would I spoil anything? I think something like that would really boost his chances in the game. So I am very excited to see where we are at the end of next week to see if his score has raised. My gut tells me it is going to, and that Ryan is going to be very dangerous this season. Um, he is one of the few people that no one has talked about targeting, which is in this group of people impressive. Um, I think he is a really good judge of who's real and who's not real, and a great judge of character in terms of like who to work with. I just think he's making all the right choices. And now that all these chats are blown up, he knows it's time to swoop in and do things. So it's a 6 for me from this week because he wasn't locked in with anything before. However, my gut tells me I will be moving up in the near future, as I think that he will be capitalizing on the opportunity that was this week. Also, I'm not moving up because Simona going home for him isn't great. Simona is someone that was looking out for him, but not catastrophic in the slightest because Simona also was looking out for a lot of people. So 6.
John.
You said no thoughts on Ryan.
What'd you
Unless
say?
you said no thoughts on Ryan.
I agree. I'm at the same place as last week. I feel like um, he's riding very low but connecting with people, which is still very good, which is why I'm above a normal under the radar player because he's playing under the radar well. But now he's HOH. So we'll see. Oh,
Oh, what?
nothing. Sean.
Sean. Um. Mm-hmm.
Mm-mm-mm. Dun, 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 dun.
I am
You're too sweet
so
for me.
I'm disappointed. Sean, here's the thing. On season 12, he started this way as well. A little less active on the outs, and Simona got him through. If we're just saying it as it is, Simona got him through the first bit of season 12. It's just point blank true. And then he turns it on and he played the hell out of the second half of that season. He's kind of doing the same thing this season, only newsflash, Sean, Simona's gone now. And can I name any other relationships that he is seriously invested in? No. Can I name anyone else in the game that is seriously invested in him? No. His name has been thrown out as a target constantly because everyone's like, where is he? What is he doing? Yeah, now the draft chat is blown up. He's one of the people that I've been hounding on as someone who's just been coasting off of that. And now we'll be sinking as this chat sinks too. People think that he's being shifty with Simona. He's doing this thing where he's just like openly talking with people about where he's at in the game. And that's great and all. The issue is people have no way of knowing. Like, I think it's still coming off as if like he's just like lying still. So the only person that I think has really worked with is Amanda. And like Amanda's not at the top of the food chain that you really got to be getting in good with. So all to say, you can join your unbothered friends. And I'm gonna give Sean a 3. I think he's in significant danger, and he doesn't quite grasp like how bad of a spot he's in.
Yeah, I'm going there too. I'm gonna go to a 3. We'll see what happens though after the implosion of this chat, and I think Simona leaving could actually be very good for him, in the long run. So we'll see. Rip. Okay, Simona.
Simona. Damn. Damn. Here's the thing. So Simona, first of all, let me get all the positive out of the way. I adore Simona so much. I will never stop singing her praises actually, because I think it's a twofold thing of like just probably having played enough games. Like, she's one of the best sports I have ever seen play this. She's someone like she knows that she's good, and it's because she is good. I won't stop singing her praises on that regard. Um, However, she came in this season. Odds were stacked in her favor, but things happened. One thing led to another. She got sniped out of here, and she played her ass off trying to save herself. But at the end of the day, was like, damn, I got. That really sucks, but we move on, and it's fine. And I'm like, oh, I love that energy. I love that energy. That's why Simona is one of my favorites. With that being said, she was saying in her diary room on the way out, she was like, damn, like this was the one perfect storm that they needed to get me out. And I'm like, I think the storms in which you were, I think the storm was quite a large storm that you had concocted for yourself after, in my opinion, you made the extreme wrong move last week. I think if you had listened to Peyton and voted out Morgan, who had turned on you, and Diego had turned on you, and you teamed up with the other people, like Peyton and oh yeah, Faven and Vic and Amanda and all these people, you would not have been in any kind of trouble this week. So definitely your fault. This was not like a perfect storm coincidence. This was your fault. And I will say that. And I hope you hear that. So yeah, I'm gonna be giving Simona a 2. She put up a great campaign. There's one thing that I've learned, it's like don't count her out. She put up a great campaign, got a lot of votes. They just realized that the votes weren't there in the end of the day, so a lot of people flipped back just to be with the house, which makes sense. Oh, I don't know why I just put in your
I
score.
am going for it too, though. I
Okay,
was gonna
great.
stop you, but
So yeah, I'm in shock that she will not be a part of the season moving forward, just because she was such a central point of it. It's weird to imagine the rest of these people playing without Simona, which sounds, but so I'm not, and that's not me gassing her up. Simona, don't take this as me saying you were the main character. You were not. But it is it's a large, very interconnected piece that has just been ripped out, and now everyone is like lost in the deep end. So it'll be really interesting to see how the rest of the season plays out without her here.
yeah, it's sad that she's gone. Um, but we can't say we didn't see this coming. I think she is saying that she didn't see this coming, but it
Yeah,
was a
this
big
is
mistake. It was a big
unfortunately the
mistake last
result
week.
of her actions. Alrighty.
Oh, sorry. And Vic.
Wow. Moving on to our final person, Vic. I mean, like I play favorites. I play favorites. I'm so sorry. Vic is one of my favorites. I am very much on team Vic and Faven. And like if I did like pick my team right now, my 5 people are Vic, Faven, Luke, Brandon, and Liz. They're my 5. Um, also love Paige, also love Ryan. I mean, it's the green scores. I like the people. It's the green scores. I mean, that's what it is. But like I don't know, Vic. I'm just I love it. I love seeing underdogs succeed. I love seeing it. And Vic came into this season positionally as an underdog. However, strategically, she is clearly so capable and she's great and love Vic. I won't stop singing her praises. Um, I've been waffling back and forth on what to do with my score. And ultimately, I think I'm going to stay at my 6 for Vic again. Um, I think he's in a great spot. I think some more people need to start talking to her and getting in with her before I can really move up to that 7. But I think we're on the precipice of that happening, and I think I will be at the 7 next week. That's my prediction. That's my prediction. I just think people like Faven and Liz and Brandon are probably one step ahead because they have more locked down groups that Vic does not. But Vic is like right just one step below, kind of in a very similar position to Luke, in my opinion, and Ryan, and hence the 6. So 6 from me, but it's a very high 6. So, well, yes.
I'm gonna do 6 too. I agree. I mean, a great week for Vic. Simona leaving was great. Um, I'm excited for. I mean, I said this for her last week, but how she and Faven and the people that they're with will move forward. Because I think this really set them up well this week. So 6 for me.
And that is our rankings. We did it. Week 4 down. This season is going down an amazing path. I'm very excited. This really has the potential to be one of the greats. We've been like working our way back up to it. Season, 12 was really bad, and 13 was like bad for a whole different reason, but like maybe the game wasn't as boring. And season 14 was like nice and average. It wasn't horrible, but there was nothing special. And then season 15 was like, oh, this is a good season. We had a good time. And now we're like, go, 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 go. So I like this climb that we're on. Let's keep it going. Season 16. I like it a lot. I'm excited for this next week, mainly because I think I'll be pleased with the results, but we'll see. A lot can happen. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Bye.